I mean, I could edit that out.
No, don't. Leave it in. This is what the people want.
I said I could. You're so brave. You just got those nails and you're mostly using your nail in it. That's the worst looking thing ever.
Why? They're attached. They're very attached.
Yeah.
They're low-key like plastic cement.
Yeah, but that made my spine hurt.
All right, well.
I
survived it. I'm brave.
You did. Brave like Elsa.
You know it. Wait, what? I'm gonna eat a pizza roll and judge you.
There's a joke that I made with Trent forever ago. I said, did I say it or did he say it? I don't remember. One of us said brave like Elsa, and he lost his goddamn mind because he knew it doesn't line up. So that's the funny thing. Okay. Welcome to the Polishing Podcast. I'm keeping in all of that.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I love it. That's good content.
This is the podcast about, I don't know.
Polishing, sort of.
Yeah. I mean,
I guess.
I'll tell you how to polish a shoe. You spit, you rub. There you go. Polished shoe.
That's not how you polish a shoe.
What are you talking about? That's what Andy did in Parks and Rec. He was just kind of like, I don't know.
He wasn't spitting on them. He used shoe polish.
He didn't have shoe polish at first.
Yeah, he did.
He didn't know what he was doing at first. He was just like, people just started sitting down on the chair.
That Andy from Parks and Rec never knew what he was doing. We shouldn't be acting like by the end of the show he's some kind of expert at anything.
That's fair. Yeah.
He's just not good at stuff. That's his whole character. Yeah, they're hot. Are you good?
Terrible.
We're eating pizza rolls because cooking isn't something that I'm going to do after working all day.
Yeah, we're recording this much later than we want to do.
Much later.
But I got sick, so we didn't do it on Monday or Tuesday.
Yep.
Well, Tuesday we wouldn't have done it anyway.
Right.
And then Wednesday was yesterday, and I worked till 8 p.m., and you weren't home until after that. And you went right to sleep. But no, that pizza roll, I bit down, and the lava squirted into the back of my throat.
I mean, that's honestly what you're going for.
She's the worst.
She's not the worst. She's just excited to spend time with me after being in there alone all day.
She sleeps.
Not all the time.
I went
I mean, most of the time she sleeps.
She mostly sleeps until you're home, and then
but
she's
cats
like,
are
let's do it.
mostly nocturnal, so she's like, the sun has gone down. My mother is home. It's time to fuck shit up.
Then that's the Polishing Podcast.
That's the Polishing Podcast.
But yeah, I'm your host, Nico, otherwise known as Nico Powerful. This is the co-host, Allie, otherwise known as Allie Mac. Yeah.
And your wife.
She is my wife. Mm-hmm. And that's Alaska tearing up the rug.
I'd be very surprised if you can actually hear her doing that on these mics.
I mean, you probably can't, but I can hear her. No, what was I gonna? I don't know why I looked at the thing. I didn't do a test before. No. Oh, now Callie's trying to play with her underneath the thing.
Callie, when has Alaska ever wanted you to play like that? No, that's what I thought.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Anyway.
But you can find the podcast on all places where you get podcasts for the most part. Mm-hmm. Spotify, Google Play. Those are updated pretty much ASAP. Mm-hmm. iTunes, for whatever reason, has been on the slow side. Whole 24 hours after the podcast is up everywhere else. It's still not on iTunes sometimes.
That's disrespectful.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. But that sucks. So sorry for anybody who for a majority of the people who listen on iTunes. Yeah. It sucks. Yeah. Don't know what's going on there. But
thanks for sticking around, even though.
Yeah. Also, still sick a little bit. Got a little cough. Mm-hmm. I'm trying not to cough. Mm-hmm. But, sometimes I'm going to have to let one out. What else? Any other introductory things? Oh, you can find me on Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. Nico All Powerful. Mm-hmm. NICCOALLPOWERFUL on Twitter and Twitch. And then NICOALLPOWERFUL on YouTube. That's all the social blah, 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 blah stuff on top.
Ah.
So, how was your week?
It was good. I had an experience of being rejected from a thing I realized right before I went in to interview for the thing that I didn't want to do. Mm-hmm. So it was like one of those few times when rejection is only like affirming you, so it actually feels kind of good. Mm-hmm. I was like, I'm glad that my gut that this was not right for me was reciprocated by the people interviewing me for the thing, which is kind of nice. That's one of those very, very rare times, and I don't handle rejection very well. So applying for things and interviewing for things and not getting things is deeply, deeply stressful for me. Mm-hmm. So me handling rejection well is a notable thing. I also saw a play last night.
Yeah.
Out
of 5 stars.
Cool. Out of 5 stars? I mean, well, I guess...
Brief synopsis.
So, it's called Verge. It's a feminist play from the 20s. And it's similar to a lot of other things.
It's a lot of ankle being shown.
I mean, no, that's not the right era, but...
Is it not?
No. They were showing ankle long before the 20s, and it was not like a thing. I just remember... You're thinking like 1820s. I'm talking 1920s.
I'm thinking, what the hell movie was it where... Is it the 50s where girls tried to start wearing skirts towards their knees, and they were like, oh, we got to make sure it's not going up, like above the knee, and you're like pushing it if it's too close.
That was a sentiment in both the 20s and the 50s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I said too much ankle.
Flappers wore things like around, like that showed their knees. No. And that was like a big deal. And women started wearing makeup on their knees because they were showing. So they would rouge their knees.
What?
Being a woman is wild in any time period.
There's no amount of makeup that'll make a knee look good. So it's a waste of that special dirt, I'll be honest.
Apparently, guys in the 1920s would disagree with you.
Well, they were dumb anyway.
Mm-hmm.
That's right, I said it. Anybody who is somehow listening to this podcast who's 100 years old, fight me. You'll lose. You will
DM
lose.
us. We'll send you our address immediately. Send me your birth certificate. We will send you our address.
I feel like this is a weird exchange of information.
Yeah, but anyway, so the play is set in the 20s, and it's like about this woman, but it's part of like this whole like litany of feminist playwriting, and that's like, feminism is when women get to be shitty, and I just really have a problem, and get to be really abusive mothers. So that's particularly I have a really bad relationship with my mom because she was neglectful and abusive and continues to be to this day. She's just not a pleasant human. So anytime I see a representation of a woman who just like literally doesn't care if her kid gets hit by a fucking, I don't know, it's the 20s, so like a bus, carriage or a Model T or whatever.
Wait. Oh yeah, I guess.
You know, to me, I'm like, that's not feminism, right? Like feminism is that she like has empathy for people who aren't just herself, particularly other women. But there were some funny things about the show. So like the 3 male characters who are all in love with the main woman character who's like obviously mentally ill and like manic, and she's obsessed. She's like a horticulturist. She's obsessed with growing a new kind of plant that doesn't exist and like creating a new plant by like crossbreeding and stuff like that.
So this is Little Shop of Horrors
if you wrote it in the 20s and the
instead
plant
of
didn't
finding the plant,
right, she like makes the plant and then kills this dude that she wants to bone. But the 3 guys that are in love with her are named Tom, Dick, and Harry. Oh my God. Which is hilarious. The performance was good. The lead actress in particular was excellent. I really wish that the male actors hadn't mumbled so goddamn much because the language was already hard to understand, and they were all speaking very quickly all the time. I wanted to tell them to like take a breath.
Is that how they're supposed to be though?
I don't know, but whether they're supposed to be for like verisimilitude or you know, whether they should slow the fuck down so their audience can understand them feels like a different, I don't know. There were really cool things. The set was gorgeous. And they did a cool thing where they did all of the sound effects on stage. Mm-hmm. Like they had people with like microphones and objects making the sound effects where you could see them. And that's like a cool device from like experimental theater stuff where you sort of don't allow suspension of disbelief. Like it creates an awareness that you're watching a play the whole time.
Okay.
So, which is interesting. And I have no idea whether that's like part of the script or whether that was like a director's choice.
Yeah.
But it was really cool. And it was like the
also,
people...
now all I can think of is someone going, thunder sounds.
No, it was
trickling
like,
rain.
It was like
and
they had a pair of
sounds.
shoes, and when
Well,
people
yeah.
were climbing upstairs, they were like clicking the shoes, or like there was a storm outside, so they had to
The
use random
warbly
objects.
metal.
Yeah, they did that. It was awesome.
I still think it'd be funny if a play had, instead of actual noises, it's just like footsteps, multiple footsteps.
I'm sure someone's done that. I'm 100% sure. Any like weird theater thing you can think of, someone's already done it. There's already discourse, capital D discourse. That pinky is killing.
You gotta be classy while eating pizza rolls.
Yeah, so the main actress did a wonderful job. The cast around her was okay. Some better than others. But it was really, it was interesting. Like the people I was with, I guess, hadn't really seen theater like that before, whereas I have. So to me, I was like, this isn't breaking any new ground. To me, it's just representing like horrible, selfish white women and calling that feminism. And although it doesn't explicitly state this, so for all I know, the play could have very much been inviting critique of that, but I don't know. I would need to pay more attention or watch it again or whatever. But it was cool. I mean, anytime I go see a play, it always reminds me of the things I miss about performing. You know, like you have a lot of fun doing that stuff, you know? And so like I was reminiscing with my one friend after the show. So we were waiting on a ride, and I was like, oh yeah, here's some of the crazy shit that I did in theater. Like realizing that like at like 15, 16, 17, I was like doing really like wildly difficult theater things.
You dyed your hair for a role.
Yeah. The first time I ever dyed my hair was for a role at 15.
For high school theater. Mm-hmm. That's wild.
Yeah, I dyed it platinum blonde. Or as close as I could get from a shitty hairstylist.
Yeah.
Because
a box of Walmart dye.
Well, yeah, I mean, I went to a hairstylist, but it absolutely ruined my hair.
Oh yeah.
And
she just grabbed Clorox and was like, "Oh yeah, bleach in your hair, right?"
Basically, yeah. And yeah, so I dyed it because I was playing Lena Lamont in Singing in the Rain, who sort of iconically has this like bright blonde hair, and she also has to wear a wig for another scene to play like a Marie Antoinette-esque thing. So it's like a big, tall, curly wig. So there's no way they could make my hair do that naturally. Yeah. And I was like, well, I can't wear two wigs. And they were like, oh, well, we were just going to change the line to like brown curls. And I was like, well, I mean, you guys don't have to pay for it or anything, but what if I want to dye my hair? And the director was like, I mean, that would be cool. And I was like, okay, cool. So I saved up my allowance and I dyed it. And my history teacher didn't recognize me the first day I came back from school with blonde hair. I just came in and sat down, and he like looked up at me and was like, huh? And then he was like, oh. I was like, yeah, I'm the best student in this class. Get it together.
Do we have a new student and nobody told me?
I'm like, this is AP World History. There's only like 10 of us. Like, who the fuck do you think this is?
Just literally looking at you like, when did we get a new European girl?
Yeah, he was very confused.
Are you another Bosnian? A lot of Bosnians in our high school.
There were actually not very many in the gifted program, probably for like xenophobic reasons. But
I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, it was, I miss theater sometimes. I mean, I don't miss some of the ways that theater culture is really, 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 really shitty.
Yeah.
And the way that you can get points in theater for just being a terrible human. Mm-hmm. But I don't know how much of that is just like the childishness associated with school theater and community theater. Because I feel like professional theater folks don't have that experience quite as much. Mm-hmm. Maybe because when you treat it like a job, you just act more like a fucking adult instead of like a catty teenager. Mm-hmm. But
she's tearing up carpet now.
Yeah, but I like genuinely miss that sometimes, especially after I see a theater performance. I'm like, oh. Nem did not wait 5 seconds to take your spot here. Really? Like, there she is. That's incredible.
You trying to be on the podcast?
she didn't want to be internet famous.
Well, that's too bad. She's a better chance at doing it than me.
True.
Damn. The savagery.
It's just because she's a cat.
Still.
Internet loves cats.
That's fair. Also, out of 5 stars. You got to review it after reviewing it.
That's true. Actually, like a 3 out of 5.
So slightly above average.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Especially for like Pitt, the university where I work like doesn't really have an acting program.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
I mean.
Seems fair.
It's like, I mean, anything at all is like good. The fact that they do plays really at all is like good. So.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but that was cool. That's kind of how my week is going. Is I'm feeling nostalgic about theater, and I got rejected from a thing, which felt good. So maybe I'm living in the upside down. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, you know, sometimes being rejected helps reaffirm what you believed beforehand, which did in your case. Well, I don't have many stories because I was laid out.
Yeah, you were. You poor thing.
Yeah, I called out of work twice, and yeah, I've only worked once this week, and then I actually didn't even work my shift yesterday because my supervisor texted me, or boss, I don't know if he's just the supervisor or if he's actually like the department manager.
Those are synonyms. They're sort of immaterial. And
Yeah, but I don't know, because there's Matt too, and I don't know where he is either. Like, one of them is above the other, and I'm not sure which way it works.
But they're both your bosses or your supervisors or whatever. Like,
yeah, I guess.
That doesn't really matter.
But anyway, he texted me and was like, hey, if you want to go in earlier so you can be done and get home easier, you can. But that was because there were supposed to be 2 closers, because I was supposed to learn how to close, because I close this weekend, like both Saturday and Sunday. So... I mean, I apparently did fine. Like, Jake was the one that was closing, and he was the one that opened after I closed. And he said it was like, yeah, there's, you know, there's just some detail stuff, like take these thingies and like put them in the sanitizer so that way they're clean in the morning, and then just stack them here. Or
okay,
like
it's easy stuff.
Yeah, it's like little detail things I didn't know about. So seems fine.
Yeah.
It just, I don't know, I'll get home a little late because it takes longer than the shift is actually scheduled for, which sucks. But I mean, I closed 2 days in a row. Yeah, I'll probably just wake up later. Maybe, who knows?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You'll see.
But yeah, so I didn't really do much, and then when I was there, nothing really fancy happened. Yeah, I don't have anything interesting. No new celebrity spottings.
Oh yeah.
Like, I tried to think to ask someone. It's like, so I was gone. We got more celebrities rolling through, but I just didn't. I forgot. So yeah, now I have this stupid little cough, and that's about it.
Yeah.
I still have notes. I never don't have notes.
All right, let's go to the notes.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot else going on.
Honestly, our lives are mostly boring.
Yeah, but us working in public, having to ride the buses, usually results in pretty interesting things.
I mean, yeah, but I would assume those would just go in the notes while they happen.
I mean, no, I just usually remember that stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Excuse me. Dab. I don't look like I dab when I cough. Oh, I have a grocery list going, which is not... Oh, also, that reminds me. If you want... I got those 3 little notebooks from the pantry. You can use one of those for the grocery lists.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. Good information for a podcast.
Now everyone knows.
Yeah.
Including Nan, who doesn't want to be seen.
I actually haven't updated this in a while. Let's start. I'm going to start from the bottom just because the first top one is just... Well, I mean, I'll start with the top one and then go to the bottom. Because unfortunately, the second one on here was something I wanted to do. Well, you know what? I still am going to do this. Okay. I don't need to explain it.
Yeah. You don't actually need to walk me through your...
But these are old. Like, this, I saw this a long time ago. But someone said Baby Yoda memes or the Minion memes for millennials. And I don't know how to feel about that. Because Minion memes are very specific because they don't make any sense with the picture. Whereas Baby Yoda memes all
yeah, there's a little more cohesiveness between the message and the image.
Yeah, like when they're like Baby Yoda's all smiley and the Mandalorian's about to snipe someone and it says "Die, trash." Like that that makes sense.
Right.
When Baby Yoda's sipping on its cup, it's basically the Kermit meme just with Baby Yoda.
Yep. Which is adorable.
Yeah. Every Baby Yoda meme I've seen makes sense within itself.
Yeah.
Whereas when you see a Minion meme, it's just like a minion and it's like moms work 9 to 5 to support their anti-vax children or some shit. And it's like, what the fuck?
Some very aggressively sexual Minions memes.
Yeah.
Which I mean, everyone's free to do what they want as long as they're not hurting anyone.
Yeah, but these were created for children, and it's weird.
It's weird. Whereas I don't see any memes of Baby Yoda in like BDSM gear. So like,
especially being shared by 40-year-old moms,
right? Who definitely are not having satisfying sex.
Well, that's why the Minions are dressed up in BDSM gear.
I just really don't. And they also make a lot of them about like drinking a lot.
Yeah, it's very strange.
It's very strange. I don't know. So I think that's like, I just think that's like not really equivalent.
Right?
I think that person didn't really think through. They were just like, oh, it's a small cute thing and we've appropriated it for memes, but like,
it's not the same.
Yeah, I don't think that's the same.
So whoever tweeted that originally, you're wrong. Wrong.
Incorrect. 0 out of 10.
I am once again coming to you to tell you you're wrong.
Someone's wrong on the internet again.
Shocker.
I know.
It's like 90% of the internet.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so we can delete that out of the notes. We should talk about the Taco Bell sauces.
Oh my fucking God. Listen, I need to turn this like so it's facing. I don't know what I'm doing.
You're not going to really be able to do much. Okay,
no,
yeah,
it's
you
fine.
can do that.
I did it. Okay. Listen up, motherfuckers. If you work at one of like 2 Taco Bells in Pittsburgh, you know who the fuck you are. When I request 4 sauces total, why in the hell did you give me 53 sauces?
Our order was messed up. They had to come back, remember?
53 sauces.
It was late at night. I sincerely think this person was like, whatever, it's like 9.
But it's
I'm
more
just gonna...
effort. I asked for 4 sauces, 2 of 2 different kinds.
No.
Why did they then give me chunks of 4 different kinds of sauce?
Because it's real. You say it's more effort to give you that much sauce, but it's less effort for them to hold the bag open and just do this.
But that's like, they keep them in like little things under the counters. So there was someone who had to bend over at least twice.
Or
just 2 handfuls of sauce and then 2 more handfuls of sauce.
I've got a hypothesis.
Oh my God.
They gave us all the sauce that children fuck with throughout the day.
Jesus Christ. What?
So they're like just out. It's all the sauce they collected throughout the entire Taco Bell.
Throw that out.
No, not this time.
Those. Oh my God.
they had them all.
I don't like this theory. I mean, granted, I will be honest. I've never in my life been like, oh no, I don't actually want this Taco Bell sauce. I'm glad to have it. I just don't understand why I got so many sauces.
They just grabbed handfuls of everything.
It took me weeks to use those sauces.
We still have some, don't we?
Oh, no, because I ordered Taco Bell again, and they gave me a fuck ton of sauce again, like 30 sauces. I don't understand what these people think. Do they think I take, like, all the sauce and make a soup and then use the quesadilla as, like, a crouton for my soup? I think that's what they think.
I don't know.
Actually, that sounds like a hella good idea, but...
Does it? It sounds like an asshole ripping bad time.
I mean, that's just Taco Bell, so
no, it's not. My stomach has literally never been messed up by Taco Bell.
You know, mine has, but that could be the gluten.
Yeah, no, that's it.
But yeah, so we had a friend over, and we ordered Taco Bell.
They hadn't had Taco Bell, right?
Yeah, I had a friend over who'd never eaten.
You're gonna turn back because
this is very weird. But I had a friend over, a good friend of mine, who had never had Taco Bell in their life, and I was like, "Holy shit, we have to have Taco Bell because it's so cheap and so delicious and made of essentially garbage, but that's fine." And so we ordered a bunch of stuff and I had requested literally 4 packets of sauce. And, you know, I mean, I didn't actually expect that they would give me exactly 4 packets of sauce.
But you didn't expect them to give you an odd amount of sauce.
including sauces I didn't ask for.
We got lots of Diablo.
We got a bunch of Diablo sauce. That shit sucks. Don't use the Diablo sauce from Taco Bell. You heard it first here, kids. It's gross.
Hot take.
Also, if you call it Diablo, I assume that means it's hella spicy. That shit is not spicy.
It's Taco Bell. Is it anything spicy?
Yes, their hot and fire sauces are actually spicy.
Oh, well then I don't know.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's like they literally go like mild, hot, fire, and then they also have this sauce called Diablo.
That's mild.
That's not spicy.
I don't know.
It's like a chipotle sauce that's not spicy. I don't know. But yeah, so we like open up the bag. We,
and
like,
the top is just
sauce.
Sauces. Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck is happening? And so
they got, you know what? They got lost in the sauce.
They got lost in the sauce.
That's why they gave us so much of it.
That's what happened.
They were trying to get their way out of it and ended up just giving us handfuls of it.
Yeah, I guess they were trying to bail somebody out who had gotten lost in the sauce. They were just trying to give away as much sauce as possible.
Yeah, the last, I don't know how many bags they gave out. Just too much sauce in all of them.
Just all sauce. You open up your quesadilla, there's sauce packets in it.
You bastard. She's ready to fight.
Why are you trying to fight?
Look at her. Did you see her face? Mm-hmm. She's about to bite.
Mm-hmm. She loves her mom. She's not going to fight me. Anyway, so yeah. And then my friend insisted that we count them because it was obviously absurd.
Yeah, there was way too many.
Yeah. And so we did, and it was 53. They gave us 53 sauces.
It's wild.
And then the next time I ordered, they gave me 30 sauces. And I was like, what the fuck is happening at this Taco Bell?
We almost got 100 things of sauce.
I'm saying.
That's
there's
wild.
some manager they're trying to piss off, is the truth.
Maybe. Something about the Xbox. I don't care about that anymore. It's old news and it's shitty. We talked about, we were supposed to think of what memes you could use to describe the cats.
Oh, shit.
But I don't think you ever actually thought of any memes.
No, but if you go first, I'll think of some.
Okay.
I can think of some on the spot.
The Vine where the girl's getting water poured on her and she goes, hello, is Callie.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
Callie's the dumb one. Oh, wait, you have to put pictures of them on the screen.
Well, wait, the cats?
Of the cats, so that
you got to send me pictures of the cats.
I have so many pictures of the cats.
There's a meme from, what is it? Rick and Morty, where there's this assassin bug looking thing where he goes, here I go killing again. It's Alaska.
That's definitely Alaska.
There's a meme from Team Fortress 2 where it's the heavy and he's like, yeah, nothing really scares me, but that thing, it scares me. That thing is Alaska. Straight up not having a good time. It's this one.
She's never having a good time unless she's in someone's lap or splashing water all over the place. The other night, I was very sick.
She get into a toilet?
And I threw up. And I was like sitting near the toilet because I thought I was going to throw up again. And she came over. And I thought, oh my God, that's so sweet. She's coming over to check on me. And then she like leans over the toilet bowl like she's looking like she's going to play with the water in there. And I was like, you bitch! I am puking. And you're looking for an opportunity to play in the toilet water, you nasty. And that's what she did.
She's a gremlin.
She's a
You're being
friggin'
judged.
She's like, fine, I just won't speak to you. Giving us the cold shoulder.
Yeah, but those are the ones I thought up of.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
So the Vine where the girl's like, I smell like beef.
Mm-hmm.
I smell like beef. That's Callie, obviously.
Sure.
Because she probably would smell like beef. Or she would just start saying, I smell like beef. If she could.
Yeah. If she could, she would say it.
Yeah. I mean, today when I came home, I like walked in, hung up my coat, and like sat down to take my shoes off. And she was under the blanket, snuggling up to the radiator. She walked out, all sleepy looking, and just laid down right in front of you in the middle of the floor.
Just laid down again. Yeah.
She like yawned, like she'd really done something.
She walked.
She's the dumbest creature ever. Oh God.
Mm-hmm.
Any given video of a fight on the internet is Alaska. Oh my God! Wait, Alaska's also the guy that's like, I just love working in an office or whatever.
We can have a lot of laughs.
We get a lot of laughs. Or the one where
like,
he's like,
"Fuck off, Janet! I'm not coming to your fucking baby shower."
That's Alaska. And the other one, I think it's part of that same skit. And he's like, it's so fun being the only gay in the office. And then he like literally hip checks somebody from in front of the copier and goes, "Move, I'm gay." That's Alaska.
Yeah, she'd do that.
She would fucking do that. She would do that now as a 9-pound cat.
Yeah,
like, if she would hip check people and be like,
Yeah.
"Move, I'm gay."
Even if she's not even gay.
I mean, she's definitely gay, but
She's a cat. Can
Right.
cats be gay?
yes.
Are you sure?
Well, I did meet those cats at that cat cafe who were boyfriends. They got adopted together.
Aw.
The boyfriends got adopted together. Shelby and I were like, "Oh my god, they're in love." These two older boy cats met like in this adoption program where
And
they
they were
put
just all
cats,
over each other.
and they were like, "Oh yeah, they're a bonded pair. They're boyfriends." And I was like, "I love the boyfriend cats." And they were so cute, and one of them was really mean.
Of
And the
course.
other one was super fluffy and sweet.
Like two old gays.
Like two old gays. I love them so much. And they got adopted together.
Good for them.
I'm so happy for them.
Well, that ruins my hypotenuse.
What? Your what?
My hypotenuse.
I'm so upset.
Cats can be gay.
Yeah, they can be gay.
I just couldn't remember if like they could.
Oh.
Like,
Yeah, no, cats definitely can be super gay.
okay. I know dolphins. Like,
Dolphins can be real gay.
yeah.
The like male dolphins will try to rub blowholes.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Like, is that like kissing?
I don't know.
Because like that's where they breathe out of, not their mouths.
I don't know that dolphins are overly concerned about imitating humans on that front,
Yeah, but
but they will rub blowholes.
that's got to mean something though.
Like for sexual gratification. I mean, like I don't think I could kiss someone until I finished. You know what I mean? Like
I guess. I don't know how
they're
it works.
doing. I don't think there's an equivalent. Is what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
I was gonna say we breathe out of the thing we eat with, and they don't. So I can't.
Right.
I don't know.
It's not the same equipment. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Dab. Adorable.
Thanks.
But so is that all of the memes? Or wait, you haven't done any for
I
Nem
haven't
yet.
done for Nem.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Eh.
Nem would be the one that's like, even though I look like a burnt chicken nugget, I still love myself.
But you call Alaska the burnt chicken nugget.
I mean, Alaska's a more burnt chicken nugget. Nem is just a potato. Or she'd be the one that's like, "A potato flew around my room before you came," and then it cuts to the potato spinning really fast, and it's like, "Ah!" That's her at night
Oh, yeah.
when we
She
go to
does
bed.
sprint a lot at
She
night.
just runs around.
Don't fuck with the trash can.
Don't do it. She loves to knock over trash cans.
She really does.
She is such a trash goblin. I love her so much.
Nice memes for cats.
Complete.
Yeah. I don't know why this is in here. It just says cell phone commercials, unlimited talk and text. I don't know what I was trying to say because I don't remember.
Were you on drug?
No.
You're never on drug.
Yeah, I don't know why. Maybe I saw a weird commercial because. Yeah, I don't know. I must have seen a weird commercial where it doesn't make, like, the context of the commercial doesn't make sense with the message they're trying to get across, which is a lot of them because they think, oh, Old Spice's commercials don't make sense. Let's just make commercials that don't make sense. Where they don't understand is Old Spice commercials were unique and, like, not all of them were good because they had the one where they had a wolf boss or whatever. It was a wolf.
I have absolutely no idea what you're
Yes,
talking
exactly. Everyone remembers the Isaiah Mustafa, look at me, now back at your man, now back to me.
Yeah.
Because
that's great.
And then the Terry Crews power ones.
Yeah.
Like, those are, but, like, they had stuff that didn't work.
But, yeah. So, I have no idea what you were referencing.
Yeah, I don't know either. Like, that's the thing, is that it must have been a commercial where.
It was, like, weird.
Yeah, but it was about unlimited talk and text. And I was like, how the fuck? So, it just probably didn't make any sense, but out of context, literally, it just the only things I wrote were cell phone commercials, period, unlimited talk and text.
Incredible.
Yeah, I don't know.
This is the content you all came here for.
Well, this one was for when Moggs was supposed to be on the podcast, but it was to ask him if he knows the first rule of owning a horse. It's to never open your horse.
I have to go.
It's the first rule. I didn't make it. I just know that's what it is.
I have to leave. Goodbye. Nice knowing you.
Where are you gonna go?
I don't know. Away. Elsewhere.
That's fair. But I mean, I don't know when our schedules are gonna line up for him to be back on the podcast because, I mean, I don't work Monday, but he's usually busy. One of my notes is just Instant Pot. We got one.
We got one, and we fucking love that.
That's
bitch.
how old these notes are, because that was in December.
Yeah. We got an Instant Pot.
Yeah.
If you don't have one and you've got some spare money, get you an Instant Pot.
It's pretty great.
It's pretty awesome. I kind of love it. It might be my favorite cooking device.
I mean, we've gotten some tender chicken.
Yeah. Turns out, surprise, surprise, when you cook things in liquid, they're juicy and tender when you're done.
With a lot of pressure.
Just a lot of pressure. Like, honestly, for most of my life, I've just not liked chicken that isn't fried. And even then, if it's
on
like
thin fucking ice.
right. Like, if it's dry at all, I'm like, this is disgusting. I would rather literally eat nothing. But we made butter chicken in the Instant Pot.
And we didn't do it right.
And we didn't even do it right, and it still came out fucking delicious.
Which means we can redeem ourselves.
Yeah, which we will. We have all the ingredients to redeem ourselves on a night when I feel like cooking and I haven't been standing all day.
Well, I mean, we just got to do it probably, I don't know, Saturday or something.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's...
I don't expect us to have much leftovers from tomorrow's dinner.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
Instant Pots are incredible. It's like, oh, so I just like... A cool thing about it is that you can set it to saute, so you can like cut up like garlic or onions or have your spices all in there, and like some oil or butter, and like get everything warm and sauteed. You can brown some shit in there, and then like put everything else. Like while that's browning, you can prep everything else. So I'll like cut a bunch of other veggies. For the butter chicken this time, I'm gonna have like some red lentils in there to kind of thicken it and add some more protein.
Yeah.
And then literally you just dump everything in there with like stock or broth or whatever you want, some kind of liquid, and then you just turn it on and you walk away.
Yep. You just let it build pressure, and then it beeps, and then it starts timing down, and then it beeps again, and then you let the pressure out,
and then you have a delicious meal. So like literally all the work is like on the front end. So especially if you're a meal prepper type human,
oh yeah, it's great for
that is incredible. And it makes a huge amount of food.
Yeah.
Like we bought the bigger one.
Which we didn't know.
We didn't know how big it was.
Yeah.
In some ways, we might have overestimated how much we actually needed from this machine.
We're bad.
But if we wanted to cook like for a party or something, like.
So this just makes me want an air fryer more.
Yeah.
Because like everything I've heard about air fryers is like it's the best way to like heat up frozen food. Like if you get like, because we live across the street from a convenience store and they have like frozen fries and chicken and stuff like that. It's like if we were like, okay, well, we don't want to cook, well, let's just put a little bit of oil. Like literally all you have to do is put like a little bit of olive oil or something, and then you throw it in the air fryer, and then it just cooks it.
Yeah, that's cool. But yeah, an Instant Pot is amazing.
Also, if you live in a small place that has an oven and you're like, oh god, turning on the oven's a terrible idea, or the stovetop, Instant Pot, air fryer, those things will like keep it from in the summer.
Especially in the summer, because so in Pittsburgh most places don't have air conditioning, and if they do, it's like a window unit. And they also have these tiny ass kitchens. Most people don't have a window unit in their kitchen. They put it in like the living room, right? Like big open spaces where people congregate, and Pittsburgh tends to have these tiny galley kitchens, so they're really closed in. Which means that when you're cooking in them, it just gets to be 5 billion degrees. And then if it's summertime, it's already warm. You're just like absolutely getting your ass kicked. And there's nowhere in a window unit is going to cool down oven heat plus outside heat. Exactly. So especially if on the third floor apartment where everyone else is heat. Exactly.
And we're getting the full brunt of the sun on top of us.
So it gets pretty hot in here. So having that, which doesn't create essentially any heat, is incredible because we can make all kinds of shit in the summertime and not be sweaty.
Yeah. Oh, man, this really makes me do one. Like, I'm really thinking maybe we should look at air fryers after we're done with the podcast.
It's totally up to you.
I mean, it would make sense because we literally try not to use the oven. And that's not a great thing when you're like, oh, we want to make food still.
Yeah, I would like to eat.
Yeah.
I like to eat.
Yeah,
I
same.
like consuming food.
That and it'll help us with options because with the Instant Pot, we got to drench everything in fluids.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, then it won't cook right.
Yeah, basically, if you don't put enough liquid in with the Instant Pot, and that was, I think, our initial mistake was just like not actually knowing how much liquid to put in, like either too much or too little. And if you don't put enough, it burns on the bottom because it like...
Or if it just pasta sauce just burns in general. We learned that.
Too.
So we can still do that. Like we can cook... We should probably still cook sauce in that. We'll just put it on low and then just do it the
so if
way
you
again.
like if you don't have a crock pot and you're like, oh, I really want a crock pot, some kind of slow cooker, and Instant Pot also functions as a slow cooker.
Yeah, because then you just don't put it on pressure cook.
Right.
That and like there's a bunch of options, but
we tried
we tried to make spaghetti, and usually when I make sauce it takes like 6 hours because you cook it on low. We found out that cooking it in an Instant Pot, we like the amount that I usually make I don't think works for the Instant Pot, at least not even this bigger one. But it burns the bottom of the sauce, which isn't that terrible, but then you have to like
cleaning is a bitch.
So we found out you can't Instant Pot sauce in there, which is fine. It works better than our pot that we got from our neighbors.
It's true,
because that one, even though I mean we didn't have a really big pot to cook sauce in, it's all scraped up on the bottom, so it's harder to make sure everything heats the same way because I don't know, what is that stuff on pots called and pans?
Like Teflon?
Yeah, that's all like
technically once you scrape it, you're supposed to throw it away.
Oh wow, we got to replace everything.
Literally, we would not have any pots.
Yeah, we got to stop using anything that's tough.
Yeah.
Like any like tough utensil.
Yeah.
Yeah, because apparently those are bad for you.
Yep.
To get in you.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not dead yet, so.
Nah.
And I didn't know that for my entire life. So I've been like, even my parents, I don't think keep their stuff pretty well.
Most people just like keep it until they can buy another thing because you can't just be throwing out your pots and pans. I don't know.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I don't know. I've been eating off of scraped up pans for a long time.
Same.
So 27 years and kicking.
I'm still out here.
Yeah. But yeah, Instant Pot, great investment.
Yeah, 10 out of 10, especially if you live in a small space.
Yeah.
Especially if you are one of those people who wants to meal prep, if you're one of those people who wants to make your own soups and broths and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, man, making soup in there would probably be really good.
Oh, yeah. Soup in there is awesome. I made potato soup. I made gumbo in there. It was bomb.
Yeah, it was.
That gumbo was fucking awesome.
It can also function as a rice cooker, but
yeah,
the amount of rice we would have to put into it
to like make it worth doing it
it would be absurd. Like that would be if we were like trying to actually meal prep something,
right? But if you're one of those people who's like, I want to meal prep and like make brown rice,
like just put a shit ton of rice in there,
and then you just like turn it on, it does its business, and then it's all done and made, and you can like go do other shit. You're like, oh, I'm going to oven bake my chicken and just make 2 pounds of rice real quick. Or like a great thing to do is you can like cook your starches in there with meat and vegetables and stuff. So like,
that's true.
It's really just a matter of the liquid ratio. So like, as long as you have enough liquid, you can cook all that shit in there and it's all going to be good when it comes out.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it just depends, but I'm thinking like, especially people who like to make broth out of like all their vegetable.
Bake a potato in that thing.
I'm sure you can. But yeah, like people who want to make their own broths, who like keep like veggie ends and stuff. Daigen does that. Like it's a perfect thing to make broth in because normally broth takes hours.
Oh, okay.
But in that, you can do it in like 30 minutes, which is incredible.
Didn't Chelsea and Max get one and they made their own broth in like a day?
Yep. And then like Chelsea used that to make a bunch of rice like the next day.
Oh, nice.
She's a very good cook.
Well, yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
cooked a couple times while we were there last time, and I was like,
You were like, hell yeah.
well, I mean, yeah, that one rice, chicken, and whatever meal
Good
that
as
she
hell.
made. Yeah, from like leftover, what was it? Like Blue Apron or
Like
Hello Fresh meals.
I think it was
yeah.
both. It was like 2 different meal services. She just like used whatever.
And she just threw it all together in a
odds and
pan.
ends she had, yeah. And it was
great.
good as shit. I was like, oh, this is fucking yummy.
Yeah. So that's our review. 5 out of 5 stars.
Yeah, love the Instant Pot.
I don't know how I even thought of this. It's gonna get gross. Spoiler alert.
Oh God.
If a Blumpkin,
No. No.
I'm just going into definitions, is receiving a BJ while pooping, what is it called if you're getting head from someone that is pooping? Is that just a reverse Blumpkin? Is there a different name?
No, it's not a reverse bump. It's not. I'm really thinking about this, okay?
I'm wondering what, like, I don't even know how the naming convention of Blumpkin happened.
Right. I mean, I think that's part of the problem of the question.
Yeah.
The name Blumpkin is not actually related to any of the actions that it describes. So, like,
That's
to
very
describe something that is related to the Blumpkin but different is hard.
Pause for police. Okay, it's not for us. We got to make sure they're not coming for us. That's all.
Why? I don't even know why they would. Be like, I would like to arrest.
It's a bit. Thanks for spoiling the bit. You would be the worst improv partner ever.
Absolutely. No, actually, I can tell you for a fact that I am the worst improv partner ever.
Allie's never heard of Yes and in her entire life.
Oh, no, I have. I'm just incapable of doing it because when people say ridiculous shit to me, my first response is not yes and. That's some bullshit.
We're trying to entertain people.
No, I want to go on a rant about improv and you can't stop me. First of all, I want you to know that one time I straight up had an anxiety attack because a director of a student...
Pause for fire engine. Okay, he's gone already.
I was in this play in college, and they were student-directed one act. So the person directing me was a senior theater major.
That was the problem.
Yeah, which was part of the problem. The other problem was that he was a douchebag. And so if you're listening to this, you know who you are, and you're a douchebag.
I'd be really surprised, but, you know,
I'd be
who
super
knows?
surprised because I'm pretty sure I told you to your face that you were a douchebag. But,
I'm going to check up on this alley girl real quick. Oh, she's got a podcast? Let's listen to it. You're a douchebag. Well,
that should check out. I was not subtle ever.
she hasn't
in my
changed her
life.
mind.
Yeah, no, seriously, like I still think you're a douchebag. But there was a
10
point
years.
where I guess he felt like he wanted to have a rehearsal. I don't know. I couldn't tell if he was doing this because he was just too lazy to plan an actual rehearsal or if he had a real reason. He didn't explain.
Yeah.
He was just like, we're going to have a rehearsal that's all improv today.
That doesn't make any sense.
Right. Because you can't rehearse
You can't rehearse a
for
play.
improv. You can't do that.
Yeah,
the
that's
whole
not-
point is that there's no rehearsal.
Yeah.
The
I
whole
mean, like,
point.
you can practice improving.
Right. But
But
that's
you
not,
can't rehearse it. Yeah.
Otherwise, then it's no longer improv.
Yeah, that's
But
not...
so basically, we had to go and
definition
stay
of
in
improv.
character, but like improv during this rehearsal.
What?
So
That
I
doesn't make
straight
sense.
up because I don't improv.
Yeah, that
and I
doesn't-
told him, I was like, I don't improv things. I am not a director. I
Should've
don't
just said no.
create. I just manifest what you tell me to manifest
Oh, so
as an
that's
actor.
why that itched. She got me.
She
Sorry.
got you.
A little switch.
So I'm like, I need a script. I need blocking. I need choreography if there's music. Like I don't create. I'm not creative, to be totally honest with you. I'm just not creative.
No, that's not
So,
true.
or at least I'm not creative in that way.
What?
At the very least.
Beb, we've come up with so many funny bits with each other.
It's true, but I don't do that on stage while people are staring at me and they have to yes and me all the time. Or I have to yes and their terrible, unfunny ideas.
Well, no,
also,
I'm not talking
no
about
one
in
at my-
context of the story. I'm talking about right now when I was like, thanks for spoiling the bit.
But that was you.
Yeah, because you spoiled the bit.
But that was, I didn't do that to be funny.
Well, it was
It
funny.
was an accident. I'm not good at improv. I'm
You don't-
only funny by accident. For real. Anyway, so
We'll work on it.
I literally sat there and said and did nothing the
Good.
entire rehearsal because I thought it was stupid. I told him I thought it was stupid.
Dab.
and I didn't want to do it. I wanted to skip the rehearsal, and he was like, you can't. And I was like, well, then I'll be here, but you can't.
So I'll do a sit-in.
I was like, you can't make me improv. So, like, my
Also,
fellow
it doesn't
actors
make sense.
tried to talk to me, and I literally just ignored them.
But everyone should have said, no, this doesn't make sense.
No, the thing is, okay, so there was a weird thing. I don't want to speak to all theater departments, but our theater department saw improv as equivalent, if not better than, comedic acting.
That doesn't...
Right. It doesn't make any sense.
They're
First
two
of all,
different things.
Yeah, they're two very different things. And
improv is specifically relying on each other to continue something and keep it going.
Entertaining, yeah.
Comedic acting is way different than that.
Yeah, it's like adapting source material.
Yeah.
And like working with creative directors to like bring that source material to life.
Yeah. And
so I was like,
and one of them is written and
Right.
has very specific beats, so that way the comedy lands and the punchlines get where they are.
Practice it so that like the way you work with your team is founded.
Yeah.
So you both have to like know what's coming next and also be in the moment and be it's just a very different skill
and
set.
improv is all about like bouncing off of each other.
It's like if I went into my writing class and told my students to like do algebra.
What? I
be
mean,
like,
it's got letters in it.
Yeah,
Come on,
exactly.
guys.
That's like the exact comparison I'm trying to draw. It's like, yeah, it's got letters in it, so that's the same. And it's like, no, just because I'm acting that doesn't mean that I'm working on the same skills.
Yeah.
So I basically protested it while sitting there, and it made everyone else extremely uncomfortable, which was my goal, obviously. And it caused me so much anxiety because I was like, honestly, if you hand me a script and tell me to go on stage, I'm not going to be nervous.
Yeah.
It's when you ask me to show up and go there without a plan that I'm nervous and I just shut down. Yeah. Like, it's not going to be funny. I'm not going to engage. I'm not going to be in character because my character doesn't exist except for what this author created. Yeah. She doesn't exist. She's not a real person. Also, I was in a fucking absurdist play. The whole point was that all of it didn't make any fucking sense. So why are we trying to create some kind of verisimilitude? I've said that twice on this podcast. What is wrong with me?
I don't know.
Why are we trying to create some kind of like manifest character?
I don't know.
With people who were created because a French dude read a French to English translation book, like dictionary thing, and thought that the characters in the book were hilarious, and so he wrote a play.
Nice.
Like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with that? Her name was Mrs. Smith, and she was British. The whole point was that she was like a sexually repressed bitch. I'm like, how do I act that way?
Well, I think you did it well.
I did. I just
sat shut
there.
down.
Yeah, and then I went home and I had a genuine anxiety attack. So I must have been having a low-grade anxiety attack like the whole time through that rehearsal. But I just played it off as being a huge bitch, which worked really well. Yeah. And then I left, and the director was like, so, like, how do you think that went? And I was like, I don't think it went at all, asshole. I think it was a terrible idea, and it actually made me want to quit the fucking play, and I'm your lead fucking actress, so get it together.
Yeah.
Next time you want to do a weird-ass fucking rehearsal that your lead actress literally cannot participate in or benefit from, go fuck yourself.
Got him.
I'm pretty sure he's not working in theater now, which gives me the most joy of the whole story.
Well,
he's a douchebag, and I wanted to fight him on sight.
I get it. But here, with your loving husband, we yes and each other.
Is this actually something that Max and I talk about a lot? Which is that yes and is actually a terrible improv rule. Like, you should not actually just yes and then until something funny happens. It's actually not good improv.
That's fine.
That's like what they teach you in high school improv. Okay. So that you don't think any ideas are bad and make fun of each other and bully each other, which happens anyway. So stop telling teenagers that improv is yes and. Stop doing it because they're gonna bully and fuck each other regardless. Like, it doesn't matter what you do. You can't mitigate that. That's what the teens are doing and have been doing since time immemorial.
Not in my Christian schools.
Yeah, I don't know.
All of my
and also almost anyone who does improv is not as funny as they think they are.
Who?
And almost anyone I've ever met who's like, yeah, I do improv.
Oh, well, yeah, but it's because they said I do improv.
Right. You shouldn't say that.
Yeah.
You should hide that. If you do improv, hide it. It should be a secret. Take it to your grave.
I mean, if you want to try to do improv, that's fine. But, like, I don't know. Don't act like it's something to brag about.
It's not any cooler than anyone else's hobby.
Yeah.
I don't go around being like, well, I knit. So.
Yeah. I play video games. You know, like all those people who make money on the internet. I mean, at least you could be like, I knit like Brie Larson.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
I also breathe like Brie Larson.
That's
Sometimes
not
I
the
wear
same.
clothes like Brie Larson.
That's not the same. Those aren't hobbies. We just got to
Sometimes
do those
I
things.
Put my hair in a bun like Brie Larson does.
Those aren't hobbies.
They could be.
See,
I would argue that breathing is a hobby of mine. I can't do it all the time.
What?
Sometimes I can't breathe. Got that asthma.
No. Well, actually, you do.
Yeah. Sometimes I really can't breathe. Sometimes I gotta really make time to breathe because I fucking can't.
Well, I guess that's fair.
Yep. So breathing is a hobby.
Well, we need to support each other.
That Brie Larson and I have.
Oh my God.
Support me.
You just didn't support me, so I can't right now.
I'll support you if it's funny.
Well,
if it's
good
not
luck.
funny, I'll just make fun of you. It's a different form of support.
I guess. I don't think that's how that works.
It's good content.
Well, we never got to know what a not Blumpkin was, but
Yeah,
I don't
truly,
think
I have no fucking idea. I mean, I think it's funny. It would be a tweet, but I don't think it's a conversation because the answer is that like it doesn't matter because the name Blumpkin is not related at all to the activity.
That's fair.
So
I still think it was funny to say.
oh yeah, no, it's hilarious. That's what I'm saying. It's a good tweet. You should send that out into the world, but
Okay.
I have no answer.
That's fair.
Yeah.
And the last note, because I haven't made any new ones since February 13th. Wait, no, that's today. That I didn't make this today, so I don't know why it's saying that. The medical term for pulling out is evacuation.
No, it's not.
It's what I read on the internet.
Well, someone lied to you on the internet.
What is it then?
I mean, you just call that the withdrawal method.
Oh, that too. I saw it listed as evacuation. I think I might have Googled it.
All right, I guess I'm going to Google it.
I don't know if I did or didn't, but I think I saw it
All
on
that
something.
shit's going to be in my Google history, and people are going to think I'm weird.
I could just Google it again.
No, I want to see.
This is what having it being in a loving relationship is.
Me being disappointed.
Yeah. What did you Google?
Pulling out medical term. Okay, so here's what Wikipedia says.
Okay.
Coitus interruptus, which is actually a term for it. It's coitus interruptus.
Scientific.
Also known as withdrawal or the pull-out method.
Huh.
Nothing about evacuation.
Where did I see that then?
Someone lied to you on the internet.
I mean, that's most of it. I don't think there's been a day where I haven't been lied to. I don't know where I saw that then. Weird. Coitus interruptus.
Mm-hmm.
You think any
That's like the actual like medical like coitus interruptus.
You think doctors go around saying that instead of saying pulling out?
There's an article from the Mayo Clinic on it. So
The what
yeah,
clinic?
the Mayo Clinic.
Mayo Clinic?
Yeah, it's like one of the like premier like medical research institutions.
So it's not about because you knew I was going with it. It's not about mayonnaise.
It's like you want to be divorced right before Valentine's Day.
We get divorced all the time. It's fine.
Well, we about to be divorced again. Yeah, coitus interruptus. Evacuation is not. That doesn't even make any sense.
I don't know where I read it. I'll be honest at this point.
According to the Mayo Clinic, using the withdrawal method for birth control requires self-control.
What?
Which feels like one of those things that is obvious.
I had no idea, honestly.
Even then, the withdrawal method isn't an especially effective form of birth control.
I've heard it when done correctly, it's like 90% effective.
Yeah, but when you imagine that like a birth control pill is more effective than that.
Well, then just, add all these percentages
Right. I mean,
together.
if you're smart, you have multiple forms of birth control going at once.
Well,
but,
yeah.
Yeah. And, the conditions are not always perfect. And people are not always capable of self-control. So that's...
Well, those people shouldn't try.
Right.
Coitus
I mean, the Mayo
interruptus.
Clinic obviously agrees with you.
I don't care what those mayonnaise fuckers gotta say.
God damn it.
Out here with their jars.
I'm so mad at you. I'm so mad. Oh my god, why did my brain go here?
Oh, no. I don't know. I want to know.
I'm so upset with myself. Oh no. Why did my brain think that the joke...
You gotta get it out at this
I
point.
don't know if I want to.
It's too late. You have to.
Why did my brain just think that when you were like, oh, with their jars, the joke was that people were having sex with mayonnaise jars?
I did say mayonnaise fuckers.
Okay, so that's why my brain did that. And then I was like, oh, do you remember that episode of New Girl where they look for the spider? They go on a spider hunt?
With the sauce?
Yes.
When Nick's making the sauce?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Did you hear Schmidt's explanation for why he's scared of spiders?
I don't remember.
Okay, so this is incredible. This thing is so fucking good. If you haven't seen New Girl, just like do it.
Excuse me.
I avoided it for literal years. I didn't watch it until it was already like done. Because I was like, Zooey Deschanel's whole career is built on her being a manic pixie dream girl, and I cannot. First of all, the character in the show is not that. And
I mean, she kind of is.
And second of all, even when
most
she is...
Most people make fun of her for it.
Right, like that's the joke. Is
Yeah.
that she acts like a fucking weirdo.
Yeah.
There's one point
And
where she
people
goes
are
in
like-
for jury duty, and this guy is like, oh, dressing up like a crazy old woman so that you can get out of jury duty. And she's like, these are my clothes. And that's actually John Cho that's making fun of her, and he's great. Anyway, so there's an episode where all the adults living in this loft, which is essentially the plot of the show. It's like a bunch of 30-year-olds living in a loft together, and they get up to some antics. So everyone in the loft goes on a spider hunt because Schmidt, who's like this super neurotic member of the household, thinks he saw a spider. And they're like, well, why? Someone's like, well, why do we have to go on a spider hunt? And he's like, picture it.
What is this?
He was like, it's 1999 or something like that. He's like,
But why is it
American
starting-
Pie is sweeping the nation.
What the fuck?
Yes. You're not ready.
Though you started it like fucking what's her face from Golden Girls.
Exactly.
Picture it.
Picture it.
Sicily. 1912
Yep.
or whatever the fuck she
Yep.
says.
So, but yeah, he's like, it's American Pie. American Pie is sweeping the nation. Everyone all over the place is having sex with pies.
I don't think that happened. I don't know.
No, that's not. It was just Schmidt.
I mean, I could see Schmidt watching that and being like,
So he apparently had sex with a pie and then immediately fell asleep
oh,
and woke up
God.
with spiders all over his ding-a-ling.
Well, yeah, they were attracted to the sugars.
Yeah. And so now he's really freaked out by spiders, which feels sort of rational. And so they have to go on a spider hunt, and he ends up with a
It's
spider.
not rational because he's afraid of spiders because he fucked a pie. That's his fault.
But yeah, New Girl's a good show. It's wholesome. Watch it with your kids.
I don't know if you should.
You should not watch it with your kids. They make a lot of sex jokes.
Well, yeah, it's a bunch of adults. Also, they get away with a lot of jokes that I don't think I'm surprised
Like
they got
a
away
lot.
with.
They got away with a lot of jokes.
Yeah,
It was incredible. There's
trying
also
to see
that
Nick's penis.
That episode is so funny. That's in like the first season too.
Yeah, isn't
like
that one of the
weren't
first
even that
episodes?
established as a show, and they did a whole episode about Schmidt trying to see Nick's penis. It's so good. He's like, "Come on, I'm the only one who hasn't seen it."
He's like, what? No.
Or when Jess has seen it, and he's like, "All right, I'm gonna keep moving my hands apart. You tell me how big it is." And it keeps moving, and he's like, "There's no. Are you serious?" And then he's like, "No, there's no way. I'm starting over." And then he starts doing it again. It's incredible. Some of the best television I've ever seen is New
It's
Girl.
wild. Yeah.
It's very good.
Yeah.
But I don't know why, but fucking mayo jars reminded me of Schmidt fucking that pie, and I was like, gotta tell
I mean, it makes sense.
you about it.
It's similar. If you're fucking a mayo jar or you're fucking a pie.
Fucking a mayo jar sounds terrible. What if you hit the end
I mean,
and you're just like, dunk?
well, I mean, you didn't buy a big enough jar.
Oh my god, what if you got mayo inside of your genitals?
I don't know. That sounds terrible.
That sounds horrifying.
I think I read something where it was like the ancient Mesopotamians used to torture people by making like prisoners by making them dip their penises into a jar of vinegar. Just the tip. Apparently it fucks your whole shit up.
I believe that. That's
Yeah.
horrifying. I'm glad I don't have stuff that you can just dip into vinegar.
Yeah.
That does you know.
Yeah, that's it. That's
I
all
feel
you're gonna
good
do.
I feel good about that.
If someone was like, "We're gonna torture you," and took your finger and dipped it into vinegar, you'd be like, "I don't like the smell, but whatever."
Okay.
But a guy comes along and they're like, "We're gonna dip your tip into vinegar," and apparently it's not good. As a small boy, I found out lathering yourself up too vigorously, and this isn't a euphemism for me finding myself as a teenager. This was literally prepubescent Nico just washing his little body.
You're very hygienic.
Yeah.
So that makes sense to me.
But I found out probably one too many times, literally like maybe like 2 or 3 times. Yeah, it wasn't great. That if I'm not especially careful around the tip,
you can get soap in that bitch.
and it hurts.
I believe that.
It hurts.
So there
to pee
is
that
such
out.
a thing as too hygienic, too vigorous with your cleaning.
See, the weird thing is like I wasn't like specifically like, all right, I gotta grip it and I gotta
And shove soap in there.
no, like just take like just mash the top
Oh no!
and wash the tip of my penis.
That's horrifying.
I didn't do that.
I know, but even just imagining it, it's horrifying to me.
The video podcast got a little bit more
A little
of
bit extra, like visual. I don't want that. Why do we always end up talking about dicks for so much of this podcast?
It is the polishing podcast.
It's true, but I'm upset about it.
Hey, we talked a lot about politics last one.
It's true.
This one needed to be
This
lighthearted.
We needed some dicks in this motherfucker.
Yeah, but I wasn't doing that.
Right.
But I don't recall how I got soap in there. But all I know is peeing afterward hurts so bad.
Yep.
And since then, I've tried to not get an STD or STI. I don't really know.
I don't know actually the difference.
Yeah, I just know that at some point it changed and nobody told me because I'm no longer in school.
I mean, they wouldn't have told us if we were in school because we went to Georgia.
I mean, I learned about, like, I knew what an STD was.
Yeah.
I didn't know much else other than it's bad, don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, which is fair. You know, they are bad and you should try to avoid them. Those are facts.
Yeah, these are facts.
These are facts.
Yeah, but, yeah, so I get how vinegar could be worse.
Yeah, I could see that. That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
In
I
a
think it's
horrifying
vinegar.
way.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. Oh, because of the mayonnaise in a jar.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I was like, wait, why did I bring that up anyway?
But mayonnaise is like oily. I bet it would just be uncomfortable and possibly could lead to some infections. But
Well, yeah, probably.
it definitely wouldn't feel good.
Yeah, there's no
I
pressure.
mean, I don't know. I don't have a penis to put things in, but I imagine it would not feel good for the majority of
Look, we
penis
all
owners.
make jokes about friction, but there's got to be a little bit of pressure.
Right.
You can't, like, well, I was going to say you can't just thrust the air and just jizz. But then
I'm sure
again,
someone's
yeah, I was going to say, I'm sure somebody tried and had. They didn't even touch their back door. They were just
like,
yeah.
I mean, if I could do that, I would. So
I can't. I just can't will myself
Right.
to jizz. It's just not a thing.
first of all,
It'd be
get
the
it together.
Also, worst superhero power ever.
Jizz with just a particularly strong thought.
Yeah. I am THOUGHTMAN. Why do they call you that? Because I had to change my name. Because I couldn't say it around children otherwise.
Yep.
What's your superpower? It's like, oh, I don't like that. Yeah, I'll go to jail. It's like, that's gross.
He's just auditioning for the Avengers. Doesn't go well.
I can just see Iron Man being like, all right, well, what's your power? As Tony Stark,
Yeah.
or Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark. So I was like, what's your power? And he's just like, and he's like,
And Tony's like, well, as jealous as I am, not actually helpful in a fight. So
I don't know if he would even be jealous. He's not trying to come quickly. He's supposed to be like a player.
well, it's true. I guess I don't.
You don't get a playboy millionaire.
Billionaire. Get it right.
I'm sorry.
Genius.
Billionaire, playboy, philanthropist, like whole, what's the word I'm looking for?
Reputation.
Reputation. If you come in 5 seconds.
I guess. I don't know.
I mean, everybody would talk shit about you.
I mean,
'Cause, I mean, there's only so many women that are like, nah, I mean, are you sure though? It's just, he'd probably get the double digits, like 10, and then it's just like word gets around after that where it's like, nah, dude.
You're hilarious.
It's just, look, at first people were like, I don't know, he's got a lot of money. But after the 10th woman's just like, you know what, I'm calling all my girls. That was pathetic.
You really underestimate how much
Money
makes up for that / how low the bar is.
Look, I'm just saying.
The bar's pretty low.
I just don't think that would be part of his reputation anymore.
No, I just think being able to just think about titties real hard and jizzing would be easy. It'd be awesome. I would just be like,
all right, THOUGHTMAN, we'll see you later.
Okay. We'll call you at parties, though.
Deadpool is super excited to meet him.
Deadpool would obviously recruit him immediately.
Just do it. That's it. He's like, man, I just did it like 5 minutes ago.
Drink some water and get it together.
It's like, yeah, but it's funny. Come on.
Yeah. So he'd be on the X-Force, but he would not be an Avenger.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That checks out.
Yeah.
Also, speaking of X-Force,
Yeah.
just a real quick, apparently X-Men, or not X-Men, because it doesn't have X-Men in the title, New Mutants is actually coming out this spring.
I'm so excited. I've been wanting to see this
In
movie
theaters?
for 3 years. Like,
Maybe
how long
longer
have we
than
been
that,
waiting
yeah.
for this film?
And it's going to theaters. People thought for sure it was going to go like straight to Hulu or
Something like that. No, it's like coming out in theater, and I'm gonna go see it. And it's gonna be spoopy, and it's gonna
have a small,
Maisie Williams.
a very small,
Very small now. She's always gonna be small.
well, yeah, she's never.
She's small,
Yeah.
but she's young.
Yeah,
younger.
but she's smaller.
Small.
Maybe. I don't know. When did she stop growing? 13. This is.
I genuinely don't know.
She's just been small.
So y'all at Maisie Williams and ask when she stopped growing. She'll probably answer you.
How long have you been small? And she'd probably be like, forever?
Right, since the second I was born.
Now I'm just wondering how small baby Maisie Williams was. Did she fit in one hand?
Probably.
As a not preemie? Because that's nuts. Anyway, you're yawning too much, so we're done.
Sleepy. I've been awake since 7:30. I've been up for 12 hours.
Same.
Yeah, that's true. But you got to chill all day. I did not.
Well, actually, when's your first alarm go off?
6:30.
I've been up since then. I really don't understand why you have that many different alarms.
Because if I don't do something, I will just sleep through the first alarm, or I'll just turn it off and then go back to sleep.
That's not my issue. Why not put them closer together?
Because if they're too close together, then I just shut them off and go to sleep. I have to have, like, it's a system, okay?
It's a bad
It's
system.
a fucking science. I'm so tired.
Okay. Well, we got to thank the patrons first.
Thank you, patrons.
Wow.
What?
We say their name.
I know. I'm waiting, but I thought I would say thank you, patrons, as a
Oh,
segue.
I thought you were just doing that so you could dip.
Why does my husband hate me?
I only hate nothing. Well, that's not true. I hate one thing.
I hate one thing.
I hate one thing. Oh, I think we lost the patron.
No. That's okay. Yeah?
Oh, I know who it was, too.
Oh, no.
I'm not going to shame them, but they'll know when their name isn't called. So
That's sad.
there's that. It's okay, though. I understand if life and things happen. You got to take care of yourself beforehand, so I'm not upset about it.
Yeah.
But thank you guys for supporting the Patreon. This is a little shout out at the end for anybody who supports us at the $5 tier. Thanks so much. Achilles, Patrick, Cert, and Quinn. Thank you guys all. Appreciate it a lot. Anyone else that's listening to the podcast, just, on iTunes, Spotify, wherever, thank you also so much for supporting the podcast in your way as well. I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
Any and all listens is it's
great.
Yeah, it's great.
We appreciate you.
Excuse me. That's gross. And yeah, thank you guys so much. Appreciate it. If you want to watch the video podcast, it's on Patreon. Abolishing Podcast.
Worth it.
$5 tier. I don't know why my mind blinked so hard right there. Yeah, that's it. I'm not gonna do the social media stuff at the end. It doesn't make any sense, really.
We did it at the beginning. So
Yeah.
it's fine.
Yeah, and it's not like somebody skipped through that and went, you know what, wait, I want to know where I can find them on Twitter and stuff, but I'm not going to go back 15 minutes or something.
But, find us.
Yeah.
We're around.
I'm Waldo. Find me. Where did I go? That's it.
Okay.
I got nothing.
All right. I was hoping there would be like a joke at the end there.
That was the joke.
That was...
Spooky Waldo. Where am I?
Spoopy. So tired. I cannot be entertaining at all. We're done here.
This is Polish Podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, do all those things that you do when you like a thing. Like it, subscribe, rate it, tell me grumbles.
All those things.
But yeah, thanks for listening, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good day.
I love you.
Goodbye.